Well, hello, YouTubers. Um, this is Brother D. Roy Cruz, your life applications officer, coming at you with a very controversial video, but I got to say it. Very controversial video, but I got to say it. I got to say it. Um, I had a decent day at work today. The weather was nice, and uh, people were in a good mood, in a very busy mood, and um, today's Friday, so this is my early day. I got off work at 6 today, and it was great. So I figured, and the kids are graduating. The nursing students are graduating today, so we were celebrating for them, and I decided on my way home because I grew up in the neighborhood that is right there by the nursing school. I grew up in that neighborhood. I mean, probably, a couple miles down the street, you could say I grew up there. And so I used to shop way back in the day in that neighborhood, and I know that Penn Avenue in the area has its issues. Penn Avenue, going all the way from my old part of town where I grew up at, all the way to downtown Pittsburgh, Penn Avenue has its issues depending on what part of Penn Avenue you're at. And then there's Penn Avenue, and there's Baum and Center, and Center was where that accident was that I told you about a week ago. And I had just told you about my aunt Rose dying, and I have a beautiful family. And they're still beautiful. They're still good people. These are not people that you would see on the Colin Flaherty channel. These are good black people. Good black people. I don't understand what their fascination is with always being stuck in these so-called black communities. But they're good black people. And before I get into it, you also know that I told you in other videos that my upbringing was not pro-black. As a child, I was used to being around enough white people. And as a child, my mother and I mentioned this earlier, being in the neighborhood that we were in at that time before it became ghettofied, everybody hung out together. I mean, Spanish, black, white, Hawaiian, Italian, Native American. We all hung out together, and no one ever said that they needed to separate themselves from these guys because they were Middle Eastern, or these guys because they were Native American, or they was hating on that. Well, there wasn't that many Asians, but we didn't hate on each other um, because of the color of our skin. When I was coming up in a town called McKeesport back in the '80s, early '80s, that town was booming with business, booming with culture, and everybody, it seems, were different back then. The cops were different back then. Um, my family, and again, my family today is still different than a lot of black people that I see today. They're still different. They're not, I mean, they have issues with white folks. They have issues with racism. And there's some things that they need to leave at the cross. They need to leave at the altar. If it's not broken, why fix it? Okay. They need to leave it at the altar. They need to leave it at the foot of the cross. Some of my cousins, when I hear them talking, and they worry about race. They worry about who's married to white and black, and who's biracial, and you shouldn't worry about that stuff. Or maybe I was just offended because my cousin asked me that. She didn't say anything against it. She just asked me. And I felt kind of offended that why should it matter? Like, why should it matter? This was 2017. Who cares if my stepson is married to a white woman? Who cares? Who cares if, obviously, if he's married to a white woman, his kids are going to be biracial. So, why ask? Why does it matter? And maybe I'm the one that's getting offended because she asked, and I don't feel she should have asked me that. I don't think it should have mattered. Okay, enough of that. But I have a beautiful family. I have a beautiful family, and coming up, I was not always around my family. Y'all that have been following me and watching my videos, especially on this subject right here, know that, I told you about how my upbringing was, my experiences of being, you know, around white folks, growing up with white friends who had my back. So, first of all, I don't really get, because I know the differences, and I know the differences that are good, and I know the differences that are kind of silly and retarded. I know where to pat black folks on the back, and I know where to just shut up because I don't want to make the black kids angry. I don't want to be in Colin Flaherty's shoes. So, I don't want to make the black kids angry, or the black adults angry for that matter. So I don't say black. I don't be honest. I'm getting to the point where I don't be honest with black folks anymore. It's between me and those that I know that I can be honest with. I can't be honest with all black folks. But anyway, my influences were different coming up than a lot of my black counterparts because I chose to, whatever tasted good, I pursued it. Whatever looked good, I pursued it. Whatever sounded good, I pursued it. Whatever I wanted that I didn't have, I pursued what I wanted. I didn't tell myself that I couldn't have something because I'm black. If I want it, I'm going after it. If you got something that I like, I'm going to follow you. If you have something that I appreciate, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to with you. I'm going to be in your presence. I'm going to be in your presence. I'm going to be in your face because I like you. You have some good points. You have a family that I like the way they take care of you. I like the way you're living. I like your living arrangement. I like your code of morality and that. So I'm not going to say, oh, well, I'm going to choose this or that over here because I'm black. No. I believe in fitting in, I believe that the furniture should match the house, should match the paint in the house, if you know what I'm saying. If you're getting my figure of speech here, I believe that the house should be clean, and then the furniture in that should match the house. And everybody that lives in the house should be on one accord on the same policies, respecting the same policies and guidelines and rules so that we all should be at peace in the house. America, to me, is my house. And I believe in keeping it clean. I believe in respecting the fact that I don't just live here, but I live here with so many different kinds of people and their different personalities and their different upbringings. And there's so many people that are doing better than me. My family is doing better than me. Respect. Sometimes the only thing you can do, black folks, I'm speaking to black folks, sometimes the only thing you can do is keep it clean. You don't know how to fix anything. You don't know how to fix the lawnmower and get it back to running. That's okay. You don't know how to fix the car. You don't know how to, so what do? You're the guy that's going to do the housekeeping. So what? So you take out the trash and you clean up around the house and spray bug spray around the house to keep the bugs out, okay? What's wrong with that? You're helping out any way that you can in the house. You're not looking at the guy that can fix the lawnmower and saying, oh, well, what, he think I'm going to clean up while he fixing the lawnmower? Well, you don't know how to fix a lawnmower. So why don't you just clean up? Not saying that the guy fixing the lawnmower should, like I work with a guy that did that, take the lawnmower apart and leave it for you to sort everything out and put it away and all like that just to make you do something. No, but keep the house clean. Keep stuff out of the way so that he has room to fix the lawnmower. He can clean up his own mess when he gets done. But leave stuff out of the way, if you know what I'm saying, if you're getting this, so that he can fix the lawnmower. Okay? Turn the music down so people can concentrate in this house. And we all live here together. Are you going to make it so that everybody are you going to force people that aren't into rap music? Are you going to force them to like rap music by blasting it? That's just going to make them hate it more. And that makes them not want you in the house. And then when you walk around with a chip on your shoulder and you're waiting for somebody to say something offensive, you're just waiting to be offended. You're waiting somebody to slap that chip off your shoulder or come near it in any kind of way so that you can flip, so that you can go off. But what have you done? You're not doing anything. And you think that because you do half or a quarter of what other people are doing, you think that, oh, there's someone supposed to pat you on the back for a quarter of what they do? No, 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 no. You don't get any special respect for just doing what others are doing. You get special respect for opening doors and creating peace. Okay? You get special respect for doing more than what other people are doing, for being better than other people. That's how you get special respect. You don't get special respect because you finally learn how to listen to somebody and take the trash out. Or you finally turn the music down a little bit like everybody else. No, you get special respect when you do more over abundantly above what the rest of the gang is doing. Now, I've set the stage of what I'm talking about. Today, we're celebrating the kids graduating nursing school. And when I left, I locked up, sent everybody on their way to go to the graduation ceremony. I figure I'm getting off early today. It's still daylight out there, so I'm going to go and get something to eat. Before I find a bus and head home. And I realized that I figure I'm in this town that I used to shop here. I practically grew up in this town. I basically grew up in this town. But everything is Friday night. Usually on Fridays, everything is open longer. The banks are open longer here in Pennsylvania anyway. The banks are open longer. The certain stores are open longer and stuff like that because it's Friday. And then all the clubs are opening and all the bars are open longer and blah 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 blah. To me, a lot of immorality. But I'm thankful that the stores are open longer and the banks are open longer because I need them to be. Okay? So I'm working in a city, basically. Not to mention downtown Pittsburgh is right down the street. But I'm working about 3-4 miles from downtown Pittsburgh. And I'm in what is called East Liberty and Bloomfield. I'm in that section. Mainly East Liberty. Now, I know the difference between East Liberty and Bloomfield. Bloomfield is rebuilding not only business, but it's building a more positive neighborhood. East Liberty still has some ghettofied issues. Let me say that again. Bloomfield is rebuilding a better atmosphere than what it had years ago. But East Liberty is still suffering some ghettofied issues. And how do I know that? Because I was looking for a place to get a money order. I went to CVS Pharmacy. They got some big giant ones in this part of Pennsylvania. Big giant CVS Expos, you know. I went there. They were closed. Closed at 7 o'clock. I got off at 6. Went and got something to eat. By the time I went to go get a money order, they were already closing. You know, CVS Pharmacy closing at 7 o'clock on a Friday. Then there's like all these check cashing places, you know, like Ace and all them across the street. And I figured I'd go to one of them. It might cost me a little wee bit more money, but I think they can sell me a money order. They were closed. 7 o'clock. Closed. So I saw this brother walking down the street. And I says to him, I says, why does everything around here close so early? Because I realized it's only 7 o'clock. There's all these people out, but everything is closed. Everything is closing. Especially like your typical stores, like your pharmacy and your clothing outlets and anywhere where you do merchandise. It was closing. Now the hair salons, they were all open. They'll probably be open till 9, 10 o'clock in the evening, but mostly everything on that part of Penn Avenue was closing at 7. And I asked the guy, why is everything closing so early in this neighborhood? I grew up out here. He said, because these MRFers are always holding or sticking, as he actually put it, sticking these places up. In other words, these people, and he didn't say it, you know, he said it in a way to let me know what kind of people are sticking these places up. I'm not going to say he was a black man. I'm not going to say what he said it, the way he said it. But he said that these blankety blank are always sticking these places up. So now they close early. And I'm thinking, we had this problem years ago. Why are we still having it? So, before that, before I went to find a money order, I went to Target. We got a big Target Expo. Big Target with like a mall in it. It's got stuff in it from other retailers in it, you know, on the second floor. You know, escalators. The place is like a mall. Y'all know how Target is moving up in the world. The place is like a mall inside. Got its own parking garage and everything, just like the old Gimbal's, like the old Kaufman's, you know, downtown Pittsburgh. But this one here is a few miles up from downtown Pittsburgh, headed towards the more ghetto parts of Pittsburgh. Coming from a more west side. I went in there first, and I had a good time at this little Pizza Hut that was, you know, they have an eatery in there in this Target. So one of the places that they had up in their eatery was Pizza Hut. So I went in there and I had lunch and I tried to get a money order in there. I couldn't do that. So I went looking for a money order. I already told you that story. And then I couldn't get a money order, so I went and got on my bus. My point is, and while I was there at Target, there was all these kids, black kids, horse playing at the main doors. And um, I thought, where are your parents? And then finally I got inside and I asked the cop a question. And when I asked him a question, he realized what they were doing. They were playing, they were horse playing in between those double doors. And I'm thinking, okay, is there a babysitting section up here at the front entrance of Target? What's going on? Why are so many black kids up here at the front entrance? Just horse playing. Like as if their parents told them, go to the front entrance and hang out there until I get done shopping. But there's no daycare center up there, nothing. And when I went to go leave, there were more of them. And even though the cop told them, please stay from in front of that door, don't block the door, they kept horse playing and horse playing. And there must have been like almost 20 of them. And when I say kids, I'm talking about middle school age kids. I'm thinking, why weren't they in the store with their parents where their parents could keep, control them? Why are they up there? But the cop, this white cop was very, very relaxed and very patient with them. Okay, and he knew they was going to keep testing his patience, and he was calm and collective about it. I know the neighborhood because I grew up in it. You may be able to argue with Colin Flaherty. You may be able to argue with Donald Trump. You may be able to argue with, name a white person that you just wish he shut up and stop talking about black folks. You may be able to argue with them. Can't argue with me. Because not only am I one of you, but I grew up and I've been watching this stuff go on all my life. And I'm not trying to make the black kids angry. But I am here to be honest and say that the black situation in America is very depressing. It's depressing. Oh, it's so depressing. Everything from these kids to these young black women having them to swag life and weaves and wigs and then to top it all off, violence. Oh yes, white people do it too. Oh yes, white people do it too. Oh, trust me, I agree with you 100%. White people do it too. But I also agree with white folks 100% that you black folks do it more. Your numbers make what white folks do irrelevant. Why can't we enjoy going to Target without some middle-aged kids screwing it up for everybody? Why can't we build neighborhoods where people can enjoy going to the store and the convenience of going to the store even at night and getting what they need without fear that someone's going to come in there with a gun, just randomly come in there with a gun and start shooting or pointing at somebody or hold them up or steal their money? It will take you as a black person to come over here where I'm at and hang out here for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And you would know, even though white folks do it too, this is a black situation. I know. This brother that told me, he knew because he shops there every day. I just work there about, 4 blocks and around the corner. I haven't done any shopping up there in years. And then I go up there today because they done all this, remodeling up there and opened up new stores and all like that. And the weather was so nice. I figured I'd go check it out just to find out that black folks refuse to evolve. They refuse to stop the madness. They refuse to stop destroying the house. They refuse to stop destroying their own house. They refuse to get along. They refuse to evolve. They refuse to clean up behind themselves. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this, or maybe I'll do another video on this and call it something else. I don't know, but welcome to my channel, because as I see it, so I say. As I see and as I hear, so I say. So, Colin Flaherty did not see this. I did. It needs to stop. Not because Colin Flaherty wants it to stop, but because a lot of black people like me and white folks, there's a lot of us. A lot of us. Just like I said, I have a beautiful family. I'm sure they want it to stop too. They just refuse to call it black. But they want the same thing I want. And so do thousands, maybe millions of other black folks scattered all over, Pennsylvania for that matter. Want it to stop. There is a big separation between black folks and the black community that white folks don't know about, that a lot of black folks don't care about. They'll just shoot you when they find out what that separation is. But you need to understand there's a big separation between black and the black community. Because really there is no such thing as a black community. Black community is when you have a whole bunch of black people with the same ghetto mindset and behavior and personality and chips on their shoulder, living all in one place. That's what a black community is. Other than that, there is no such thing as a black community. We don't practice holding on to enough money to create a black community. There is no such thing. Just black folks living like rats in communities that were abandoned by other races. So, I don't mean to offend anybody, but so as I see, so I say. I'm calling it what it is. I'm sorry. Please don't be angry with me, black folks. Anyway, God bless you. I will talk to you again soon. Stay tuned for more. God bless you. Thanks for watching.